Growing up in Utah, skiing and snowboarding, Grubb, Busio, and Topher Hill became friends and have worked through numerous businesses together. In 2023, pickleball fever led to KTCHN Pickleball. With a never-settling attitude and a passion for doing the work, these two are raising the standards in pickleball bags. The Court Caddy is that bag. Grubb and Topher, join me on the court. It's the Pickle with Mickle interview series 0-0 start. All right, I am here today with Grubb and Topher of KTCHN Pickleball. I am super excited. What's up? Happy to have you on the court with me. How are you guys today?
Thanks, Mickle. We're good.
Yeah, we're doing great.
Had a busy day, so we're good.
Yeah.
Busy days are good, especially with what you're doing, especially with what you just have going on with KTCHN Pickleball. We're going to get there in a minute. I mean, you guys have been out there with this launch of the Court Caddy Pickleball backpack. I call it actually a sports bag that you've engineered for pickleball. We're going to get there. You've made some of the pod rounds. Like I said, now you've made the big time. It's the Pickle with Mickle interview series. I'm super excited to have you here. I always like to say pickleball is a great connector out there. It's a connector of people. It's a connector of businesses that can work together. And we're here today, Grubb, because we got connected from Matt over there at Maverick's Pickleball. So I got to give a quick shout out to Matt at Mavericks. And hey, folks, if you're looking for a nice paddle, go to mavericspickleball.com. You can find the new Havik Series Pro and All Court. Like how I did that, I can do the same thing for you guys later when we're talking about the Court Caddy. But let's jump right into it. I mean, you're entrepreneurs, business owners. Here we are talking today. I want to go back just a little bit, Topher and Grubb, to the actual launch and just the feelings at that moment. We're going to talk about everything leading up to it. But what's it like when you know, here we go, it's go time? I mean, bring me into that.
You take this one.
Yeah, the initial feelings was like, I think we had spent so much time prepping and had so much player feedback. And I think we were just excited. Like, we already knew it was going to be an awesome product and people are going to like it because we had so much feedback and had built it off people's feedback. So, like, we were just eager to get it out there. Like, it took us over a year to actually make. And so we were just like, let's do this. Like, it's going to go. Like, people are going to love it. And we feel like we did a good job with it.
And I love how, Grubb, you deferred over there to Topher, yet the whole time smile, your head's just kind of nodding. I mean, it's got to be, you put your sweat into it. You've got the time. And of course, you've got some of that entrepreneurial background and some success in the past and some ventures that you've been in together. We'll talk about the big one, of course, a little bit, but there's always that trepidation. Even when you've put in the hours, you're getting the positive feedback. It looks awesome. But then just kind of like you said, we knew it was going to be good. Was there any of just kind of that little bit, it's got to be good, right?
Yeah, I think, exactly what Topher said, like leading up to it, we felt like it was good. But when you're the only one that's really been using it for the last long time, and it's just kind of that excitement of, all right, we believe it's really good. We believe we've probably made the best pickleball bag to date. But what do other people think? And, right after that launch, it's, my mind was going just towards like, what's wrong with it? Is there something bad? Did we miss the mark on something? You just kind of automatically go to those like what ifs or, what could the negatives be?
Yeah.
And I think the most surprising thing so far has been the positive feedback. I mean, we have over 70 reviews now already. We only have 7 returns out of over 500 bags that we've shipped out.
Wow!
So people are genuinely liking the product, and the feedback has been incredible. There's been little things here that people give us feedback on, which is great. Like, that's how we build our bags. But
right.
Yeah, just getting them out there has been such a good feeling, and feels good to have all your hard work pay off and just genuinely love the product. That's like the best feeling ever.
That's amazing. And of course, it's got to be a great feeling. 500 out the door already. I mean, to me, I think that sounds like a big number in the initial launch, and it's great. And so let's hover right here for a minute on the bag, right? You spent the time making it. You had people who were, you give it to them. They play around with it. They feel it. They try to rip it apart. They try to bash it around. Talk about some of that initial feedback, and what would you ask folks to do with, let me call it, a prototype bag so you could continue to improve it prior to the launch? Grubb, I know when we talked a little bit ahead of time, you talked about backgrounds as a snowboarder. And when you take on a project, especially something like this, you put that mindset in there, right? Where I want the best equipment. If I'm going to go out and invest in something that I'm using for something I'm doing all the time and that I have a passion for, when you're making it, that same mindset goes into it. And we talked about bindings back in the day on snowboards and boots in here and how sometimes they just click apart, or in other, let's call them just sport bags, pickleball bags that are kind of out there. Strap pops off right after you get it, leans over when you put it on the ground. Supposed to hold my shoes. Where the heck do my shoes go? Now, I've only seen the bag on the website and in talking with you and some of the research I did. But now let's open it up. Talk about this thing, because it's awesome from how many paddles it holds, and really that it's designed to be more than just a pickleball bag.
Yeah. So starting with like some of the features, I think the biggest thing is the magnets. Like that's what everyone has spoken about. That's probably like, I don't know, the little or the ball sleeves was like one of the big things. And when we like came up with the designs, it wasn't probably till like the third iteration of designs where we're like, oh, like what if we did this to the bag? But that's like, so there's two of them on the bag, one on each side. We wanted it to be pretty symmetrical just because like visually it looks better. So like two ball sleeves on the outside, two bottle holders that hold up to 40 plus ounce water bottles, which was a huge thing because I've had golf bags where I'm like, this bag's almost perfect, but it only holds like a 12-ounce water bottle. And that's super frustrating. And we know people are going to play at courts for a long period of time.
And
so like,
everybody's carrying around those huge plastic water things anyway now. I mean, so you have to be ready for that.
Yeah. So like, we really just try to dive into like, what are people going to be using? What are the essentials? Is it new grips? Is it tape? Is it sunscreen? Like, and we wanted to make the features cater to those items that they're taking to the court every day, which I don't know, there's a whole list of features that we added, but we wanted it also to have a function be simple enough where it's like not just pockets to have pockets. Like there's a purpose to every single pocket on that bag.
Absolutely, because I think we talked a little bit about, I've got a little backpack, that I use, and inside one of the pockets, there's like wallet pockets that I'm not really sure what they were anticipating I was going to put in there. I mean, it's kind of like they just sewed a couple of pockets in there and they're not deep enough for really much. So I understand where you're coming from. The bag, it has to have that functionality, which I think yours does, and that's just from a website view and talking to Grubb yourself. But when you break it down and how you have on the website, you're right. It has a place for everything. One, it looks good too. And I think that's important. You came out right now with is it black and brown, the two mainstay colors?
Yeah, there was a like black is the main color right now, and then we did a really limited launch with a tan color, but that's all sold out and not going to be back for a while.
Okay, so we're going to stick on the black. Looks great though, and I mean you're going to get positive response from that, just because let's face it, you can't go bad with black. You can put it over your shoulder with anything you're wearing, and you're still going to look good coming to the court. That's part of it too, from a rec player to a pro player. We've talked about that. I mean, Topher, you're a golfer, right? When you go to play golf, you got to feel it. You got to look it. It's going to cover up the one that goes left, the ones that goes right. I mean, you're probably really good, so I'm just talking about myself. Yeah. But I got to have that mindset for the first tee. At least I'm going to look good when I'm over in the woods, pretending I'm not looking for my ball. But same thing with the backpack. I show up the court. I got the Court Caddy. I'm putting that thing down. I'm hanging it up. Let's go. Pulling my paddle out of there. I got a little added mental edge, I think, because I'm just feeling good about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think you brought up a good point too with like our design philosophy with the products that we build. We like to break it down really simply. There's a spectrum of players, right? You have, let's just say, your beginner players that are just getting into it. and your ultra lifestyle players that play anytime they possibly can. Let's say 5 days a week, right? You're super serious players. And, we really wanted to kind of cater more towards the seriousness player, like super serious player for this initial launch, just because we could get feedback, really, really great feedback from players that were unhappy with existing products. They have all the stuff, everything that they bring. They want to bring everything to the court. They have multiple paddles. They need a lot of balls. They need all their stuff. So that was kind of our initial mindset with, what product do we want to build first? And a decent sized backpack just felt right. And also just, based off of feedback, a lot of bags are just too big. They become black holes, as people will say. And, it was a really obvious gap of what was missing for us looking at, current offerings in the marketplace. And, we had this idea to make just the best pickleball bag we possibly could. We wanted it to look different. We wanted it to function different. We wanted it to have purpose. The materials needed to be just the absolute best we can possibly find. And yeah, I think we did a pretty good job at accomplishing that for that specific player. And as we continue to build products, that's kind of our mindset is, not a certain price point we're trying to hit. It's just like, who are we building this for so that it has intent to fulfill their needs as a player and how they're going to use the bag. And like at the core of our design, it's really, who are we building this for? And we start from there.
Awesome. I think that's well said. I love that analogy to the black hole, because now I'm thinking of, that duffel bag that you got that started out as your tennis bag, right? Or now it's your pickle bag. Next thing you know, I'm in there and I'm pulling out VHS tapes and DVDs from like 10 years ago. I mean, what the heck? How did this stuff get in there, for crying out loud? But when I look at the Court Caddy, functional. And we talk too, right? People are using their pickleball bags in many ways. I took mine on the airplane. It was my carry-on. The Court Caddy looks great for that. I mean, if I'm strolling through the airport with that, and you can double, you can have one paddle in there and throw the rest of your stuff in there for a quick getaway. I mean, it's very versatile in that respect as well. And so let's keep it moving. Topher and Grub joining me, Kitchen Pickleball, Pickle with Mickle interview series. Now, you guys have worked together for a little while. You've known each other since you were back in high school. And Grub, a little bit of a tennis background. I've just found out Topher's the better golfer of the two. And let's go back to how some of this started. The vision, the lightning bolt for the pickleball backpack came in, recently, really came in 23. Grub, you got into pickleball even pre-COVID, so a little different than some people. And you were working in a different backpack arena, I should say. And Topher, you were there with Grubb as well. Can you talk a little bit about that and how that experience, building that company, still in an apparel industry, I guess we could say, or an accessory industry, but it also helped you kind of know the speed bumps to just kind of go right over as you're building the Court Caddy and you're getting into Kitchen Pickleball. And then some of your other ventures that you've worked on together have been of paramount help, especially, Grubb, you call yourself a digital marketing wizard, and I've seen, what you do. I love the layout of your website. All of that in today's economy is especially important. So I'll let you both go ahead and dink it back and forth on that one.
Yeah, take it away about.
Yeah, sure. So I owned half of a company called K9 Sports Hack, which ended up being really cool business to own, massive success, tons of it was just like a rocket ship, right? Like super, super fortunate to be part of something like that. Topher was right along for the ride as well, which was really cool. So as far as how that has helped with what we've done here, I think the main takeaways, that we're implementing into Kitchen has been the design process. Okay. We're working with just the best of the best people we can possibly find. It's absolutely worth it to work with the best people. They're so knowledgeable. They speed things up. They have connections. They they open your eyes to so many things. So we didn't really do that with our previous company. We were working mostly with the manufacturer and us being the designers. And, you know, like, we're not designers. We know what we want to build, but we don't really know how things get stitched together. Like, we're obviously getting better at that, but working with people that are just incredible at their job has been a big game changer. Working with a top, 1% manufacturer has been an insane game changer for us as well. The quality of the product that they can put together, their knowledge, their expertise. We didn't really have that with our first company. We went through a few bad manufacturers, and what a nightmare that was. Somehow we came out of that alive. And so like those two things are super paramount. And then that company got to a pretty good scale. It was multi-million-dollar run rate a year, just really quickly.
Wow.
And there's a lot of things working with wholesalers and distributors and knowing what to do with customers and fulfillment and logistics, like that all there was so much learned in that process from that previous company that really allows us to step back and say, hey, we absolutely love doing that. Let's keep doing that. Hated this. It didn't work. Let's avoid that. So yeah, we're taking kind of good and bad and, from that experience and applying that here. What would you say?
Yeah, I think from any of the ventures we've kind of been in, like the dog backpacks to marketing agency, there's ultimately we've done a lot of things, and I think we have just failed a lot. Mm-hmm. And like just saying it straight up, and I think those failures have been so good for us because we've learned so much from it. Like he's saying, like from manufacturing to who we're using to help make the bag. Like instead of using what we think, like let's go use an expert who's designed hundreds of bags for like top companies. I think some of the other things is just like, how do we want like the marketing to look like? In our marketing agency, we worked with tons of different companies and saw what worked, what didn't work, and kind of like how we want to be perceived by other people. Like, how do we want our brand to look to others? And so I think like it's been kind of just this slow buildup of like, oh, failure, learn. And then from that, like, I think we went into this venture just like, oh, like we have a really good idea of what we need to do to like make it pretty successful from the beginning. And I don't know, I feel like so far we've done a pretty good job about doing that and getting it launched.
Yeah.
I think that's a great answer. And what I really love is the fact how you bring up failure, right? I mean, not afraid to mention the breaking of the eggs, the falling down, the skinning of the knees, that it's going to happen with anything you do in life. And then when you're building a business, it's important to pick yourself up, understand, okay, that hurt. We had to do it though. This time, let's do this a little different. And I think it probably allows for the both of you to have a little more of a creative lens outside of the business, kind of looking at it because you know what the nuts and bolts, you know the roadmap of the business part, and you've aligned yourself now with some of those good people. And maybe it expands that vision to listen more to the people, right? Oh, maybe if we did that, it's going to make that bag even better. And I think that's a cool part of the story. And it certainly doesn't mean we're not going to fall down in the kitchen as we're building our next product, as we're continuing to improve the Court Caddy. And I love that approach. I love the no fear of failure. You can't get better without failing. What Michael Jordan said it best, right? I mean, I've made X amount of winning shots. I've missed so many more. And right, I wouldn't be great without failure. And so I appreciate that. I mean, that's real. And that's why we're here. And so let's keep it going. I mean, initial launch is happening. I got out on the website and there's an additional piece, this sleeve that clips on around to the back. And I saw somebody putting it on one of their videos. Are we going to have more add-ons to the bag or just kind of this sleeve? Talk about that a little bit. What might be next?
Yeah, I mean, we don't really know, but we're going to ask our customers what they think would be cool as an add-on. And we're like, really, we're just digesting how people are using the bag. like you said, a lot of people use it for travel. You're using it at work as their daily bag because it just is so inconspicuous. So as far as like add-ons goes, you know, there's really unlimited things to do with how we've set up the bag, with how things can hook onto it. And I will say, like, we've already gotten feedback on the next add-on that we're going to build. And, you know, basically, like, it came from people just saying, hey, the front pocket can become a little bit of a black hole, we've discovered.
Okay.
And we just want a little bit more organized. So we're going to try to figure out some, like, stackable kind of like cube organizer things to fit in the front, so it's a little bit more organized. So
okay.
yeah, it's like everything we do is really built on feedback and just trying to learn and understand from our customers. I think that's the ultimate way to build products, is ask the people who would buy the product and ask them what they want and then build it for them. It's, you know, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And with that, you know, that being said, that's how you stay ahead of the folks that are trying to break into the Pickleverse in all different areas. It's like the gold rush, for crying out loud, because you mentioned it before. There are other bags out there. A lot of them look similar. A lot of them have similar functionality. Where can we differentiate? Not so much about the price point, but where can we attract, to how you mentioned it before and describe it, that pickleball player. This is somebody that's playing pickleball all the time. They're using their bag not only for pickleball. I love the analogy at work, because you could roll that thing right into work. It looks fine. Bringing it with you. And so a lot of anticipation right now. I think a lot of growth towards the future. Who are some of the people that you ping some of these ideas off? You mentioned you work with, you know, are you working with some pros out there? Are you allowed to drop any names of people in the early stages? Say, you know, this thing's not too bad. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I'll kind of like the beginning stages of figuring out the people was like we built a Facebook group. So we ran ads to a Facebook group that was basically just kitchen product development, and tried to attract pickleball players in there. I had a couple screening questions for them to get in, just to make sure, like, yeah, like you're who we're looking for. And inside that is where we started asking questions like, what would your ideal pickleball bag look like? What things do you take every time, like non-negotiables, to the court? We'd ask these questions to them for the initial like phases of figuring out like, okay, these are the features like we need to have. And then it just turned into like when we'd get the bag, like we'd show it, we'd look at it and like maybe come up with an idea or two, or we'd show it to like friends and family and they'd come up with something, and then like go to the courts and like interview people literally at the courts, like, hey, what do you think about this? And literally show it to them at a pickleball court, and a lot of the time like they would have great feedback too. And like it was tons and tons of time of that just went into like asking people in like a ton of different places questions and just like what they want in the bag.
Yeah. That's the way you had to do it. You have kind of an online focus group there, putting ideas out there for you, and then you're hitting the courts locally in town. Where's the hottest place to play pickle? Right thereabouts where you are in Utah.
Everywhere. This is pickleball mecca.
People don't understand that. Let's hover right there on Utah, because there's a lot of pickling happening in Utah. I mean, I live in Pickle Zona, so pump the brakes when you tell me Utah is a pickle mecca, because I know you want to move down here, Grubb. Oops, I might have spilled the beans. However,
Arizona's pretty good.
There's a lot of pickle in Utah.
I was down there, but like I tell people, like you can't, like you could throw a rock in anywhere in Utah and hit a pickleball court. You know, like everybody's putting in their backyards. There's clubs everywhere, cities putting them in. Like it feels like ridiculous at this point. You're almost like another pickleball court. Like there's one like 20 feet this way, you know. But yeah, it's a great place to walk around with the bag and show off people, and everybody plays pickleball here pretty much. So yeah, showing friends and family, everybody plays. It's really easy to get feedback from. So it's a great place to be for pickleball, no doubt.
That's great. I mean, is the community in general, the state, rallying around the Utah Black Diamonds in MLB?
I don't know. It's so
they need to.
We are our friends. I don't. Yeah, we need to. We
need
he
to pump
helps
them
manage the team, actually. Yeah, and we were having some interesting conversations around that. It seems like you like the Black Diamonds in particular are trying to level up MLP by building a facility and doing things around that aspect for the community. So I think they're going to have an edge on kind of a fan base, I would assume. But yeah, they just put up a billboard I saw,
Cool.
which is pretty cool. Our friend Tyler, he's on the team.
Nice.
So I've talked to him a little bit about, you know, what he thinks about the future and whatnot. But yeah, pretty interesting. I don't know, like people love sports here. So I could see it doing pretty well. It's just a matter of like, in my opinion, the entertainment value has to be pretty good.
Yep.
And I think that's what lacks at pickleball events. That needs to be stepped up big time. But yeah, I mean, the passion's here. The players are here. They're going to have a ton of support either way, but I do think they have a good opportunity to kind of like set a new standard for the MLP in particular.
Very cool. I see that here locally with the Arizona Drive doing some of the same things. They want to have more of a permanent home for where the drive can be. And I think across pickleball also, whether we're MLP or National Pickleball League is happening in communities, there is that community help when these places try to come in or when these events come into town. And I think for sustainment of pickleball in general, we're going to continue to have to see that. And from some people I talk to, you see it happening the right way. And that's what I hope we continue to see, is that we don't try to, I don't know, just push and push and push and push this thing in front of everybody's faces. And next thing you know, we're over wrestling it. I think, to your point, the entertainment draw has to be there. I was at MLP Atlanta. I had a great time. And watching the pickleball is fun. You got to be able to be mobile around the event, I think. And so the pickle venues have to be true pickle venues. And so, you know, as they convert a lot of these tennis facilities and they make them grandstand courts, which is cool. I mean, for MLP on the weekend, gosh, you might have needed a bigger bowl for the final matches or for some of the matches just because of the seating. But it's good to hear. And I think certainly pickleball is here to stay. And I'm a big fan of that team game. But I agree. You got to get in the communities, and we'll start to see as they figure out the league itself and maybe the players stay on the teams a little longer, right? We can start cheering for X player and X player. It'll be a lot of fun. And so, all right, we're going to keep moving along. You mentioned something, or at least I found it on the website, and I think it resonates just to hearing both of you speak about the process in building the bag, the vision for Kitchen Pickleball moving forward. You've got your values laid out on the website. We could talk all day about values and how important that is, especially building a business and a product that has to resonate with people. And the ones that I really picked out, one, and we kind of hit on this, Topher, a little bit, but I'll throw it back to you, raising the standards, how we continue to commit to the high performance, right? We want good shit. We want a good backpack out there. That was your quote when we talked earlier. And so, you know, that continue as much innovation as you can. Talk about that a little bit. And that goes hand in hand with never settling.
Yeah. So the never settle has kind of been like the North Star for us as far as like the bag goes, and kind of our commitment to, like, we came out with the Court Caddy, but like we want to make the Court Caddy better. Like, and we're trying to do that. So if like there's everything's like, oh, this little feature, like, by make it the experience that much better, like we want to implement those things. And so the value of just like, we really want to make the best product ever, and we know if we put in the time and the research and ask the questions to people, like, it's going to make the bag that much better. So like our commitment is always like, we're going to keep making this product better. Like, the product right now isn't what the product's going to be. Like, if we can improve materials, improve functionality, like we're going to do that just because we know like people, it can be that much better for people. Like, we don't want to settle on like the product right now. Like, we think we can still improve on it. And so
it's great.
Any product we make, it's like we want it to be an evolving product. Like, we think it'll get better, and our commitment is to make it better over time. And we're going to work with our customers and just local people, players, pros, whoever we can, like, to make that happen for you guys.
That's great. And it goes right into the next one that I have here is the passion standing behind, your beliefs. That's big, right? You've got a return policy that you mentioned out there on the website, Though there was a part of the return are we selling perishable goods and fruit maybe eventually? I saw that we're not accepting exchanges of returns on fruit or some of those products. But I mean, what's next? What is next from the kitchen? Am I going to get some apples or pears or something? What's up?
Hey, you might. If we can make a better apple, we'll go for it. But no, it's probably just from a template.
I think it's standard template, but I think it's great. I think it was awesome. But even better than that, and I think this has to be born out of something important to you both, is 002 Give Back. And this looks pretty cool to me. Talk about this program, how folks can get involved in it, and what it means to both of you.
Yeah, so we're actually just starting to look for our first give back now that we have sales and we have profit coming in. So, I mean, like I have a big belief, like you get what you give. I think giving is the best marketing strategy possible. So we just want to, give back where we can. And it feels really good if we can give back to underserved, underfunded programs, introduce pickleball to them. Like, that's what I love about pickleball is everybody can play it. Everybody can have fun. It's really low expense to play it. Like, you can get a really cheap net and a couple paddles and be having a blast. So it's really awesome that we're in kind of this space to introduce pickleball to, whether it's a school, maybe it's a after school program center. Like, we're gonna really just kind of pick and choose what people think needs where they need the help, and give back to them. So we'll be donating pickleball supplies. I think we're going to try to get some of our buddies in the industry, like Mavericks, Bread and Butter, reach out to them, see if they want to kind of donate paddles. We'll buy them, but give us a discounted rate so we can get more supplies and things like that. So yeah, it's just kind of a collaborative effort, getting money from our customers and investing that back into the community so we can watch the sport grow and really share the passion and the love we have for pickleball, and hopefully introduce somebody new. Topher and I were having this conversation, I think the other day. It's like there's always somebody out there that's not doing something that could be the absolute best, right? I think we were talking about golf, right? We're like, somebody's not playing golf right now, and if they started playing, they would be the best in the world. Like, you just never know, So it's always good to introduce opportunities to people that might not have them. And for pickleball, who knows? Maybe a story will come out in 20 years where we donated supplies and that's where they started playing pickleball, and now they're the Ben Johns. I don't know. Who knows? But we really like that ripple effect of giving back, and it feels good. But once again, it's just kind of like the future of, what could happen. Like, we love the ripple effect, the unknown ripple effect. So yeah, we're really excited to do our first one. We'll announce it and get it all set up. But yeah, people can email in. There's a 002@kitchenpickleball.com. If you know somebody or a place that might need help, send it in. We're getting a list built. So awesome. Yeah, that's kind of how that works.
I think that's so cool. 002 Give Back. I mean, you can hear it right now. Imagine if I told you 30 years ago, from the ashes of a give back program, this young star, right? I mean, it's a 30 for 30 waiting to happen or something like that. I mean, it's going to be awesome. All right.
Yeah, it really is, right?
So now we're going to speed it up a little. Let's jump on. We're going to have a little fun. So you mentioned currently, I know you got a little relationship with Bread and Butter out there, right? They've got a Bread and Butter kitchen pack out there on their website. Any plans to align with any other companies per se right now? Any individuals names drop that we're going to see a bag out there on tour, or are we too early yet?
We don't really have anything in the works right now with anyone else. Bread and Butter is an awesome collaboration, and if they want to continue working, it's definitely in the talks, and they've been great to work with. Doug is super cool guy. But yeah, awesome. We really haven't focused on even very many pro players. Because one of our the other values we had is we didn't necessarily want to have a pro that's unless they wanted it. We want them to want the bag. So if they want to buy the bag or whatever, sweet, because it's it speaks to our story that's it's that good of quality and it's the best bag. So we didn't necessarily, we want to just be authentic. So we don't really have anything with pros right now.
I would say like
Good.
the only idea we have for potential collaborations is possibly working with companies and our paddle sleeve that goes on the front.
Yeah.
Because we know, once you find a brand, typically that's like your brand. You want to rep it. You got all the
Right.
paddles. You're supporting them or whatever.
Right.
So we think a paddle sleeve, like maybe with their designs on the front, could be
Like
cool.
a branded paddle sleeve or
but yeah,
something like
just-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like imagine like your favorite paddle, like the design on that, like being on the paddle sleeve and maybe like a collab, something like that. But yeah, no like official collab bags like bread and butter. That was pretty special.
Okay.
They were willing to do it, kind of help us out with some minimums. Like these products aren't cheap. And you gotta
imagine
order
that.
quite a bit, honestly. So it limits. Yeah, unfortunately it does limit some of those types of collaborations. But things like the paddle sleeve, like that's definitely cool options.
Way doable.
Yeah,
I made my own paddles.
yeah, just exploring right now.
Back in the day when
Oh,
I
yeah?
thought I was going to
nice.
be like a paddle guy myself, so that was like my company logo and everything. And I made a paddle run. So just speaking to the point that nothing is inexpensive if you want to get into it. And so that's where I say I liken it to the gold rush and the .com rush. I'm like, folks, you got to pump the brakes. You're not just going to go and get a run of paddles or something and think you're going to be the next. You need to have some foundation. You need to have some vision. You need to have some wherewithal of what you're doing. And of course, you need to be ready to fall down and fail, which is great. Who would you identify as your biggest competitor right now?
I don't know. Like, it's hard because it's like, are we comparing just bags in general or?
Well, you're only selling bags right now.
Right now, I think there's one other bag. Yeah, there's tons of other bags, like, but at price points that are way cheaper. And so I think it's.
But there's not so many.
I
guess when I mentioned that, would there be a competitor in what I call your space, which is more of a versatile sport pickleball bag?
ADV.
Yeah,
probably.
Okay.
They just kind of came out with their new pickleball bag. They've been in the tennis scene for a little bit, and they've done a great job in the tennis scene. And then they launched a pickleball bag, which is pretty cool. Honestly, I've sent some people there who have said, "Hey, your bag's too small. Their bag's a little bit bigger, kind of a little bit more like a tournament style." But as far as like materials go and stuff, it's not quite up to like our standards. So
Gotcha.
But as far as function and something new and designed well, that's, I would say, like, let's compete. They're going to be a good competitor with us.
Because you got to keep your
part of like why I say I don't.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I don't know who like the competition is. Like, I feel like we've like kind of put on blinders too. Like in this process, like we weren't really focused on what other people were doing, or like, I don't know, like we really tried to just put the blinders on and create like our own new category of like, okay, let's create the best bag. Like we're the best. We're that much more ahead. We're in our own category now. And so I think, I don't know, like ADV's ADV. Yeah. They're probably
I would say that's a good place to be right now, but knowing business, knowing the boom of this pickleball, there's going to be people trying to be players right in your lane. So you got to keep that head on a swivel, right? You got to be ready for them, back them out of there.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I think that's why we focus so much on just being as real and genuine as a brand. Because like you said, there's a gold rush. Like you get people hiding behind their brands. You don't know who they are. They're going to sell cheap products. So I think we have a really strong foundation as far as a customer base goes. They know who we are. We're going to take care of them. They know the quality of products. So when those knockoffs or competitors come up, that's okay. It's going to happen. We've seen it happen with our other products. It's not really that big of a deal. They might take some of the pie, but I guarantee they're not taking care of their customers like we are. They don't have they're not ahead of the game. They're just following what we do. If people want to be like us, great. Be like us, but you'll never be us type of thing. So I think that's kind of the mentality with what we could see happening. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe somebody else will kick our butt. I don't know. We'll see.
No, hey, you're out in front, and I think you got a solid plan to stay out there with what you're doing. All right, so we're going to have a lot of fun right now because I did some polite social stalking. If you put it out there, people can see it. Now, you mentioned you guys have been friends since your high school. I mean, did you guys get married right at like the same time, too? It looks like your kids are almost the same age. Is that accurate? You both have small children?
Yeah.
I have
Yeah, I have one kid. He has two, but yeah,
I think
pretty
we were married
similar.
like a year
apart.
Yeah.
Were we best men
pretty
at
close
weddings?
in life trajectory.
Exactly. He's a year older than me, so but pretty much everything's pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay. So with the children, you Grubb, you have two children. Topher, you just got the one. Are we going to be picklers? Are they going to be picklers?
Yeah, for sure. I bought my kid. He has like a kid pickleball paddle, which is awesome. Like it's totally weight appropriate and stuff. He likes hitting and picking it up. He'll like just randomly pick it up out of the basket and just like start swinging it. So I think so. He's only 3, so he's like
best time to start. Hey, Tiger was 3 when Tiger was 2 when he started. All right. So I mean, you got stuff. You got stuff to do. Sure. He was swinging that plastic club on Bob Hope show when he was like 4 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's got clubs.
Yeah. Our little boy has clubs, but I lean way more towards the pickleball paddle right now because it's kind of dangerous with the golf club. Like,
take your knee out. Yeah, take your knee out.
It's terrifying. So
I went. My boys are a little older, and so for Father's Day, my older son's getting kind of back into golf, and we went and hit some balls and everything. And I took my younger son not too long ago to play some pickleball, and of course, I mean, he's 6'5", whatever he weighs, and just wants to smash ball. I'm like, no, man, we got to just hit it back and forth a little bit. They're gonna kick us out of here. You start running around like that, trying to go all Viking on the ball. But he had a blast,
It's all about.
That's right. You got to bring that heat.
Awesome.
But he had so much fun. He's like, when are we going to play pickleball again? I'm like, all you got to do is, let me know, man. We'll go play. And so here's a question. It's a big question. And now it's going to satisfy maybe some personal curiosity for me, taking it from some local Utah folks such as yourself. Best place that you've snowboarded or skied, not in Utah.
Oh, Grand Targhee or Jackson,
Jackson Hole.
Idaho, Wyoming. But I think Targhee beats Jackson.
Ooh.
Targhee is like one of the funnest resorts ever.
Nice.
It's on like the opposite side of like the Tetons of Jackson. But
Deep pow-pow? Totally good pow-pow out there?
Crazy stuff there.
Yeah, it doesn't get tracked out nearly as fast as Jackson. It's way
now,
fun.
Where's the secret place in Utah to go? Is there one? I mean, lots of people come to Utah to ski.
Oh, we could mention one, but it's a little.
Don't give away your honey hole. Don't give away your honey hole.
Well, the thing is, you can't find it. It doesn't exist online. You have to know a guy. I think that's probably pretty. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah. We haven't been yet. That's how like private it is.
Okay.
I mean, what do you think? Like Powder Mountain.
Powder Mountain's probably like one of the most low key ones still. Yeah. And there's a bunch of there's a couple private. The one we're talking about is like around Powder Mountain. It's like a private cat skiing. There's a couple private resorts around Powder Mountain that public can access.
It's pretty cool.
But everywhere's getting bought out. Our kind of local one was Sundance, which was 15 minutes away from us, and they just got bought out by a group a year ago or so, a couple of years ago, and it's kind of losing its magic.
The luster
already. Just I don't know. So
yeah. We were both up there like a week ago, and they're building like a new little hotel. It's just like the vibes are gone. You're just like, this feels like corporate. Yeah, it is sad. Yeah. It's way sad.
Right.
They're doing some good things though, but it's lost its magic for sure.
It's unfortunate. Sometimes that's just, it happens, right? It happens. But hey, good stuff. Okay, now back to some pickleball. Topher, you admitted Grubb, better player. He admitted he's just been playing longer and he's got that tennis background. But what kind of paddle you swinging?
I really like the bread and butter ones, the Loco.
Okay.
Doug hooked us up with some, and I love the Maverick one, but the Loco is probably my favorite paddle right now.
You like the Loco? Grubb, are you Loco guy or are you using it different?
Yep.
Nice. They look sharp.
I love the Loco too. I do. I have a filth that's pretty catered. Okay. I have some tape on it and groups I really like, but yeah, legitimately those filth and Locos are really nice paddles. I really like how the Havoc swings. It definitely feels different in the swing.
Yeah.
But there's something about the all courtness of the Loco that just fits my play style a little bit better. So I kind of rotate between Havoc's and the Loco. That's probably
Right on.
probably
Those are
my
the two
favorite
big ones
paddle
with
right
bread
now.
and butter, the Filth Loco, right? Yeah. I mean, I think he's got some others, but those are like his
Yeah.
two main ones. Right on. All
Yeah,
right.
he's gonna send us some new ones too, but yeah, they're awesome paddles. Like I don't know what they're doing to those paddles, but they feel good.
Yeah. Sweet.
Hey, I was just up at the Proton event, and I mean, you know, they were doing something to those paddles. They fined the guy $50K, but let me tell you, I think Proton scratched that check. They're just going to keep moving forward, just like we are right now. All right. Do you have a registered pooper?
A registered what?
Your pooper. Your duper.
Pooper? What do you mean? Oh,
Your
duper? No, I don't do duper. No. I'm like a between like a 4.3 and a 4.5 probably.
That's pretty good. Right
At least
on.
people tell me that.
Hey, if that's what they're telling you, that's what I take, right? That's what I would write down. You know, if somebody told me I was a scratch golfer, I would let them tell me I'm a scratch golfer. And so,
yeah, exactly.
Keep it going.
I don't
Do you
know,
guys
would
have?
Then you don't get handicapped.
What's
You don't
that?
get strokes.
That's true.
You don't
You're
get any
giving me
if
strokes.
you take it as a scratch. I
You're
would
giving
not
me
do
plenty of
that.
strokes.
I'd say I'm like a 50.
No, you're not. I can look at you and know you're not a 15. You're setting me up. You're like a sandbagger on the pickleball court already on the golf course.
Hey,
It's true.
All right. So, do you guys have any plans to go, you know, out on the road to tournaments, anything like that? Set up a booth, maybe a Beer City Open type of thing, cool, something fun, or talk to me about that.
Yeah, we've been talking about that lately. We have some insight on like how some other events and stuff goes for like some pickleball specific events, just from some brand owner friends. Um, to be honest, I think where we're gonna probably spend our time and attention is not at pickleball specific things,
Okay.
like specific trade shows or events. Just because we know of some like really quality ones, and pickleball, like you said, it's here to stay. Everybody plays pickleball, it seems like these days. So we actually might try to get into like outdoor retailer that happens here in Utah. That's a
Okay.
huge show.
Neat.
Like we did our dog bags there, and like
Okay.
that was our best show ever, which is really surprising. So
Yeah.
we're gonna kind of maybe stand out a little bit more from the crowd if we go to events and stuff. We wrapped our like van. We have an RV van that we wrapped. So
I gotta
we
get a
plan
picture
on,
of that.
like taking that out, like local tournaments and stuff. So yeah, definitely like that side of things. But you know, I don't know. We just we're really good at the online stuff. We know how to reach people and sell stuff. So it's
Fair
kind of
enough,
like
man.
you know, like just being honest. Like our money is if we know how to put $1 in somewhere and get 2 or 3 out.
If it ain't
We're
broke,
gonna
don't fix
do
it.
that consistently.
No, I hear you.
Yeah,
There's
so
added
yeah, for
expense
sure.
to putting yourself on the road and doing those sorts of things. I'm just, you know, old school guy, right? Get in the car, head out, you know, put a bunch in the trunk and let's go do it.
Yeah,
But I mean, back to your
Yeah.
point, it's a different game today. You've got to be good at the online stuff. You got to know how to reach people in the way that you do. And I love maybe a little diversity and going to a more niche and outdoor kind of show in Utah, or maybe something else like that. Because I guarantee you people who are going to those things play pickleball. And then they say, ooh, I got a pickleball bag right here. That's awesome. All right.
yeah, and there's no other competition, right? Like you stand out like crazy. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah,
For sure.
I don't know. It's
yeah,
undecided, really.
yeah. If it fails, we learn.
And
Move
honestly,
on,
we don't
so.
even have the inventory to do something like that.
Yeah.
That's we're having a hard time keeping these things in stock. So it's like we really haven't put much effort into it because we're low on inventory. When our next wave gets here in August, we'll be able to open the door a little bit more. But honestly, it hasn't even really been a huge.
Let's hope
stock
if there
for
are
us.
any problems that Kitchen Pickleball has to encounter, and it's a constant problem, it's that we're low on inventory. Okay, I mean, let's just hope that is the problem that we
Yeah.
have. We just
Low,
cannot
low,
keep them.
not
We
out of
cannot
stock.
keep them.
Yeah,
Right? We're
low,
negative
low.
inventory. We're filling orders and we don't have it. But
Yeah.
all right, here we go.
Yeah.
Favorite type of music
It
you
was-
guys
it
like to
was-
listen to?
Yeah.
I like country now. I used to be kind of everything, and now I like country. Fatherhood's made me grow old.
I'm not to country yet. I like country. I like the country you like. I'm probably still along the lines of like I still really like electronic music.
Okay.
I like hip hop, kind of like underground, like rappers. I would say.
Give me
like
one.
crappy rappers.
Yeah.
Give me a crappy rapper.
I don't know. I do like. Yeah. What would you say?
Give me a crappy rapper.
Oh, like Skizzy Mars.
All right. Now, I don't want to get either of you in trouble with your lovely wives. Hottest player on tour. Any tour.
Oh, man. Hottest player? I actually have a really weird thing with pro players and like the pickleball influencers. I think they're all kind of trash, to be honest.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm like,
we have really hot wives, so
yeah, it's
like,
kind of like,
honestly,
So I don't want to get you in any trouble with your lovely wives. Like I said, but I mean, social stalking. I saw pictures of your wives.
One that stands out.
You both outkicked your coverage.
I'm trying to think of like a cute one.
I don't even.
We follow this girl, Paris Todd. Is she a pro? She's pretty cute.
Yep, she is.
Is she a pro?
She's pro. Former tennis player. She's a pro.
Pictures. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
that's
she's
a walk
like
off.
the only like normal one though. Like I said, I don't know. Like they're all kind of weird influencer.
Yeah,
The vibe is off with the pickleball influencer girls. I don't know what it is. I was talking to my wife about this the other day, and she kind of agreed.
Well, good enough.
We make our wives be pickleball influencers.
They would do well if they yeah, totally.
Well, you guys both did well. Like I said, you outkicked your coverage, and we'll move on. Did you watch cartoons when you grew up?
That's fine. Oh yeah, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. Yeah, okay.
I didn't really watch. I feel like that's outside so much as a little kid.
That's
I
true.
literally just like built things as a kid.
What would you build?
Like my mom would not let me watch SpongeBob. She hated it.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
all right.
I can watch Disney Channel. I loved all the like extreme sport things like Johnny Tsunami.
Oh yeah,
and like
those were sweet. Rocket
Power is actually probably like the best like cartoon.
Yeah, Rocket.
Like
all right.
Little kid.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, probably that.
How about on the super hero fence, Marvel, DC? Which way would you lean, or at all?
What's Deadpool?
Marvel.
Yeah, Marvel. Yeah, I thought the Marvel in general. The one that intrigues me the most with DC is the Wolverine. Like
That's Marvel.
The well-produced ones. That's Marvel too?
Yeah. Wolverine's is Marvel. Deadpool, Wolverine are doing a thing together.
Oh, all right. There you go.
That's the next Deadpool with they're bringing Wolverine back.
I'm not into that.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah,
you've got
the new Deadpool with Wolverine. I saw that yesterday.
You've got the ability to have your dream team on the court or Topher on the course. I like to take that. Who would you invite to dinner type of thing? And let's put it on the course or on the court. 3 people with you that would round out that foursome. And this could be anyone, entertainers, players, your dream people, dead, alive. I don't care.
Definitely be a lot of golfers. It'd probably be
hit me. Look at
hard
the look
not
behind
to
me.
Tiger Woods, just because
golf's right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, it'd have to be Tiger Woods. Like if I'm going golfing, it's gonna be all golfers. Tiger Woods, Tommy Fleetwood, and probably like Rory.
Okay.
Just because I'm like
somebody needs to cheer Rory up.
Pretty embarrassing to play with him. I know someone needs to. He's pretty sad right now. But
he should be sad.
Pretty poor last 2 holes at the U.S. Open.
Jesus.
So.
Last 3.
Yeah, mine. I'll mix mine up a little bit. I want to hang out with Jack Sock.
Okay.
Because he's into pickleball now. That'd be like my court person. The other 2, man, I really love like just people who inspire me the most. Probably Ed Milet. I don't know if you know who that is. Awesome.
I don't.
Life dude. Love that guy. And then, I'm super into like, I'd probably say Andy Frisella too.
Yeah, Andy.
Ed and Andy at the same time with Jack Sock. That'd be
with Jack Sock.
All
right.
Those would be my guys.
I don't know why the guy during the MLP event had to ask Jack Sock about his butt. I don't think that's anywhere we need to go in, a pickleball broadcast or a sports broadcast. Yeah. I mean, that's a big reach if you're out there asking the guy about his big butt or something like that. Funny story is I was in Vegas and I sit down next to these 2 lovely ladies and they're watching the pickleball, the bubbly event 2 years ago, my first like foray into this whole pickleball thing. And I'm like behind him doing my little play-by-play watching. I think it was Jack Sock out there with a couple other people. It ended up being Laura Sock because she turns around. She's like, oh, I didn't know we were getting play-by-play. And I'm like, oh, crap, I better shut up. And she was like, no, I like it. But then she gave me a couple minutes. It was awesome. Yeah, it was great.
That's pretty cool.
Are you dog people or cat people or both?
Dog. I have a dog.
I have a dog too. But I will say I had a really cool cat growing up. And what?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said something. Yeah, I had a really cool cat growing up. You remember?
Yeah, Kit Toy.
She was cool.
Yeah.
If I could have a cat again, it would have to be her.
What was the name?
She was weird and cool. Kind of like a dog. Her name was Kit Toy.
How do you guys even have that name?
I have no idea.
My cat growing up, it's
my name.
Yeah,
Weird name.
Yeah, how'd we get to Grubb?
Oh, my mom gave it to me when I was a crawling baby. My brothers had
Just a little grub?
lizards, and the lizards would eat little grub worms, and I was in the scooting across the floor stage of my life. So she's like, "Oh, you look like one of those little grub worms."
Your little grub.
You just
Awesome.
suck.
Hey, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
What kind of dogs do you have?
I have a miniature Bernie Doodle named Ace.
Ace.
And I have a
All right.
golden doodle. His name's
Cool.
Samson.
Samson. I got a Doberman named Maverick. He's sequestered downstairs, or he'd just be all over the place up here while we're doing this.
That's a good name for a Doberman. Maverick. That's a good name.
That is.
Yeah, he's awesome. All right, here's a good one. Grossest thing you've ever eaten.
Go.
Oh my gosh. Cool. I had to go to China quite a few times for my last company, and they're like I don't even know what it was. It was some sort of seafood mush concoction. It was like goo. I don't even know what it was. Whatever that was, it was disgusting.
All right.
I'm pretty sure it gave me like a parasite.
As soon as you said I was in China, I was waiting. I'm like, you either ate eyeballs or monkey something, or all right. How about you, Topher?
I don't know what it was. That's the scary part. I don't even know. Something from the sea. Yeah, is that? I don't know.
I can't even top that. Mine, I'm like just thinking of like something I don't like, which my mom would always make like chicken cordon bleu, which I can't stand. I hate that.
All right, get out of here.
Like my whole family knows.
Get out of here. That's a great. Poor
I don't know
Topher.
what it is.
Yeah, the chicken cordon bleu I cannot have. All right.
I've been fortunate
Have you ever, either one of you, have you ever done, or, I mean, they might have been popular when you were younger, one of those challenges? Did you and your friends ever do those challenges that came out, right? You got to try to drink a gallon of milk in, a minute or something, or cinnamon challenge. What's the stupidest kind of like challenge you've ever done?
I've heard I did the cinnamon challenge, which that one definitely kind of sucks.
That's impossible.
And like the saltine cracker one, what one's that? There's like a saltine cracker. I forgot what you do if it's a number of them, but you have to like eat so many of them.
Oh gosh, desert mouth. I did one recently actually. This was like maybe 2 years ago. It's like try to chug a whole can of soda without burping.
Ooh.
That was interesting.
And there's one kind of like another parasite. There's another one kind of like the saltines you were.
Yeah, probably.
You were talking about, Topher, with the Easter candy with the pure sugar little things. You got to shove a bunch of, I can't remember what they're called. You got to eat a bunch of those. The Peeps challenge, right?
Mm.
Yeah, Peeps.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
No, I haven't done anything like that.
I did the gallon milk challenge with like friends in like junior high.
You did?
I remember,
Oh,
man. Like everyone threw up from it. Like, I think a half a gallon in every.
I think part of all of these challenges involves throwing up, passing out, or something of the like. So we'll keep it up, having a lot of fun here with Topher and Grub from KTCHN Pickleball. Football season coming up. You guys got a horse in the race when we talk football at all? Or are we too focused on court caddies?
I'm not I used to be more of an NFL guy. I liked the Packers for a long time. The closest team to us is the Raiders now. My brother has like season tickets down there. So I'm like super disconnected from sports lately. Like,
makes sense.
If you ask what I do, probably Toast does the same thing. It's like our entertainment is like working on our business. Like, I would rather work than watch a TV show. But I do like NBA. Like, that's like the sport that and pickleball is like the sports I really, and F1. I like F1.
Yeah.
Okay.
But football, nah, it doesn't do it for me.
Fair enough. F1.
I do fantasy every year with
Nice. Fantasy's fun.
But yeah, fantasy football. So I'm like, whoever has the best team or best players, then I'm like, I'll just go for that team.
Just looking to poach some players for the fantasy squad. That's all good. F1's made a huge resurgence. It's fun to watch and things like that. And so again, we'll get you out of here now. On the way out, the Kitchen Pickleball, the Court Caddy. It's a great bag you guys have out there. Anything coming up on the horizon? You mentioned we're not doing any road shows really, but will you be anywhere recently? Are we taking any time off for 4th of July upcoming? What's next for Topher and Grub? Anything you want to plug on your way out?
Sling?
Yeah, we're kind of in the process of finalizing our sling that we're making, which is, again, just for a very specific player. And kind of like the last, should have one more sample maybe, but it's 98% of the way done. And
awesome.
We think it'll be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Now, is that pre-sale status yet?
Big thing.
Soon. Next few weeks, we'll be able to finalize it and get pre-orders going.
And the Court Caddy itself right now, back order, or people can still get to the website and order it?
Yeah. We have a few left.
There's like 30-something left at this point. So it's going to run out probably the next week. I don't know, week or two probably. So,
and what would we see for what would you be telling people?
I don't know. We just like, we're so focused on the customer experience that like, I don't know if we're going to do back orders. Like you might only be able to get them when you can get them, just so that.
Well, that's that's what I guess what I was trying to ask. When's your next planned release, let's say?
Oh, yeah.
Should be August. Like end of July, August.
Yeah.
I'd say August.
First week or two of August, our next restock will be here. And then a new color launches too. So
awesome.
Look out for that.
All right.
Keeping it
no toiler?
Yeah, it's a cool color.
All right.
No
toiler on the color. Is it similar to that, to the space padding behind you at all? Is it like a mint green or anything like that?
No.
Cooler.
Yeah.
Cooler than that? All right. Sure. Well, the Court Caddy is definitely cool. Yeah. This has been awesome for me. I hope you guys had a great time here with Topher and Grub. Kitchen Pickleball, folks. You got to get out to the website. Look at the Court Caddy. If you don't have one now, guess what? Gonna have to wait maybe until August unless you can get one of those last ones. We like to run at a minimal inventory. You know why? Because you can't keep a hold of them. The Court Caddy, the newest bag out there. Awesome, functional, versatile. It's all about pickleball. It's all about the kitchen and pickleball. Guys, this has been great for me. I hope you had a good time here. But thanks again so much.
Thanks, Mickle.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it. Good conversation. Awesome questions, too. I don't think I've had a podcast like that yet, so this one stands out. I love it.
Yeah, thank you so much. This has been awesome.
My pleasure. All right. Thank you both so much. This was awesome. I tried to be different and innovative on this show. If you want your Court Caddy, better go to kitchenpickleball.com. They are going fast. Stay on the lookout for what's next from the guys at Kitchen Pickleball. Stay safe out there. Stay hydrated. I'll see all y'all right here next time for more